majority in the crypto market, including myself, was kind of expecting this bull run to reach new highs, that 50, 100,000 X highs of this bull run by next 8 months to 12 months. Now, based on the BTC chart, it looks okay. Yes, we have crossed the all-time highs. We consolidated and we, reached a new high in a year. So that's kind of fine. So before we top out, it looks like 8 to 12 months. But you and me are majority in altcoins, not only in Bitcoin, right? So in that aspect, we should be kind of looking at this, which is Ether, and then the entire market. Now, in Ether, you kind of get that consolidation day, and it follows that altcoin market cap chart. It's fine. So let's look at the altcoin market cap. This shows some indicators that we may reach the top by Jan 22. Okay, that's fine. So that's January 2022. Now that's fine, but it also shows a possibility of consolidation in between, which would be ranging from 8 to 10 months. So that means our target can be up to 18 to 22 months if that happens in between. So even if it is 10% probability, you still have to consider those. Why? Because if you align your time frame in a way that you are congested and you are stressed out, if it doesn't happen by that time, it's going to be risky. And once you exit the market, it will start to pump. So you don't want that to happen, right? So in the case of XRP, when you look at this, we had 215 days of consolidation after a pump. Now, if you take that precisely, you'll kind of end up with 215 days there. Now, this is a weekly chart. So that type of consolidation after running way high is common in different asset classes. Now, this is crypto itself, and different asset inside that is showing you different trend. Now, this has to be looked in detail to understand what really is the possibility. Which asset would be topping out and which asset would be consolidating. Let's actually dig in through that. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where we discuss crypto and science behind investing regularly. Now, if you look at this is the chart of XRP on a monthly, and it kind of just highlights you that from the all-time high to the wave top on a monthly here, you kind of get the second wave top would be like 600%. Now, you know that this top here was $3.8. Now, if you plot that to the upside, 600%, you will end up with good numbers, right? If you are looking at that, you're reaching around $20 and we are happy. Now, in between that, what you have to keep in mind is, before that happened, after the first small wave of 80%, we had 150 days of consolidation before we pumped up. Now, if you look at this here, as of now, we kind of went up 100%. Now, we didn't have much of a consolidation before we broke higher and made a new high and stayed about that moving average. So it's kind of look, at least for me, it looks like it's in a hurry here. But remember, in between, you can still have a consolidation, right? Here, it shows you 184 days. Now, if I would like to take you guys to another chart to really show you different stuff, that would be different assets. But at the same time, you need to understand, say, these are the opportunities in the market, right? There are coins which are pumping heavily. Look at BNB, it did 600% in 30 days. In a quarter, it brought you 887%. Now, there are others which are kind of unpredictable, right? Say Dogecoin, it came up with 1500%. No one knew that would be happening, right? But there are others which is kind of easy to locate in charts. Say that 300%, 500%. That's, when I say easy, it's not that easy, but it's possible. Now, these are kind of the all-time highs and where we are going right now. So if you are looking at that, we still have a lot of opportunity, and there are people who are taking this benefit. Say they are in my Patreon and they are making money. Say guy here highlights he went from 125 to 282. Now that happened in just 2.5 months. Then someone rode it all the way. Now this is BNB. I just showed you how it gained, right? Someone rode it all the way from 40 towards 265. That was cool. Then this one is the profit taken in REN. Now that was cool, considering she was sleeping. Now then this one, double her portfolio in just a month. Now these are individuals, right? These are human beings. They're not bots, and they're taking these opportunities. So I tried to give you guys the maximum perspective about different assets in my Patreon. And if you are not only in one asset, say XRP, you can definitely enroll there to get more value. Now, before we jump into the fundamentals and try to dig in deep with the technicals, I would like to say now we are ending this month, right? Just 5 days more. So in that aspect, if you are looking at it, if you are enrolling to the Patreon, always enroll early the month, so you get the maximum benefit. Otherwise, you'll have to pay again on 1st of the month, which is the payment schedule for Patreon Day, right? So if you want to enroll into a platinum tier, right now come into a premium one, then upgrade next month. Otherwise, you'll be double charged. So keep that in mind. If you want to enter in Diamond Plus, right now enter in Platinum and then upgrade next month. Now, let's look at the real charts and go through details. Say this is XRP on a weekly. Now we saw it on a monthly where, there is no much huge fluctuation in the waves. So the first one was 70%, second one went up all the way up to 8,500, and then the third one. Now in this term, it's completely fine. Now we understand the second wave is the biggest wave, right? Here, if I delete all of this and just zoom in so that you guys understand what I'm talking about and take you guys through this. This was kind of the first wave with the correction. Then you got the second wave there. Now you corrected all the way back down and then popped up through the roof for the third one. Now that looks all fine. Now that's inside one market cycle. Now if you are looking at this as one market cycle and plotting for next 3 market cycle, we already know what we are looking at. See, this was the first wave here. We came back down. So now we are projecting something up. And the second wave was usually the biggest wave. Okay, cool. Now, if you want to get more, I would actually take you to another asset, which is Chainlink. Now, if you are looking at Link here, this is just to understand how XRP is playing out. And if you are trading different assets, how to look at Link. Now, this is 3 waves. Say the first wave here, after the consolidation, was like 900%. Now, there is a difference here that this didn't actually do like elite wave completely. Yeah, one of that condition is met, that the second wave is the largest wave, but usually it used to be 2 to 3x of the first wave. Now here that's not the case, but the point here is you got first wave correction, second wave correction, and then the third wave. Now remember, when the other coins were coming down all the way, Link was moving to the upside, right? So now I'll show you another asset too, but here, when you look at this, you'll definitely understand there was a consolidation of 300 days after the first 10x. Then we moved up to 12x, after which we consolidated 150 days. So it's not like a bear market going down, it's a consolidation, because I see people saying, okay, we went 10, 20x up, now we are going to go down. No, that's not how usually the market works. It kind of try to push you out, limiting your patience, right? They play with your emotions, they play with your patience. And if you're not having that time frame as a leverage, what will happen is eventually you are like, okay, this is not going anywhere and I'm out of the market. And as soon as you go out, you become impatient, it goes again 10, 12, 15%, 10, 12, 15x from the bottom. Now, after which again the consolidation is small. So what is the key difference between Chainlink and XRP? Say Link did 300 days first and then 150, so it's kind of half. Now you go to XRP chart and what you actually see there is a little bit different stuff in each wave and the consolidation. So say if you measure number of days after the first wave, you consolidated 153 days. So if you remember, after the second wave, it was the same for Link. Now you take this one and look at the next one, you kind of get around 215 days, right? So it's like second wave is more in terms of number of days in the consolidation state. So if you are in the market where you should be, at least for me, it definitely looks like I would be in an asset which is stopping that first wave so that I can get that benefit of the second wave. Not in an asset which is already in its third wave or moving through the third wave. Why? Because we don't know what will happen in the market next. But for sure, if there is a consolidation, I would be able to accumulate more. At least for me, that's the perspective. Why? Because when I zoom in and I look at this particular stuff, what I see is, okay, I had that, if I personally had that 150 days to accumulate there, knowing that the next wave is going to blast through the roof, I would have done the best to accumulate as much as possible. So similarly, if you get the chance, what would you do? So that's the question here. Now, there are still chances that we may reach the top. Why? Say this top of the altcoin and then this top of the altcoin is like 1,500 days. Now you take the 1,500 days starting from the top of last cycle and project it outside, you reach around Jan 2022. So that's still a year ahead. So that's fine. 8 to 12 months may work fine. But if you look at this stuff, after the long consolidation of 340 days, we had another 300 days of upside. So once we start running above the all-time highs, we have 330 days. So it's again 8 to 12 months. So that also fits in well because we are right now at the all-time highs. And if we continue to run like this, we can follow that. But the other game here, if you zoom in, you can see that once we went down in this correction and came up all the way back here, you can see that we kind of clearly printed that rounded bottom, showing you that we are going to pump. And if you actually take the measurement of the percentage, you can kind of see that it was hinting at least a move of 600% would be there. Now, remember, it showed you 600%, and then the price moved from there to the top and it did like 13,000%. So it was way higher than that. One of the reasons for that is this consolidation. People always miss this stuff. If you have, say for example, 600% here and you are in a reaccumulation before the breakout or after the breakout, so you can consider this as the top or this as the top. So that means you are kind of having 500% after the breakout, but you got a reaccumulation zone here which went like 350 days. Okay, that means it's kind of getting tightened inside that range. So when it break out, it's going to be way higher than that. So that just happened there. Now if you want to understand in another asset, you can directly jump into Ether. Say you go into Ether chart, this is Ether USD. You see at the same time frame you had a correction here, a consolidation. You can see it's 300 days. So kind of a year you consolidated. Now from that bottom, if you look at this top, you can see that we kind of went around 4,400%. Now, are you expecting that kind of a consolidation here? Because when you take these out and look at the price from the bottom, say which we took here till the top, we are around 2,200%. Now, based on that, you still have room to run. But if you look at the altcoin market and Ether, it was kind of at the all-time highs, and it's right now way above the all-time high. We were here at 1,400. Right now we are here at near 2,000. So if we are to consolidate here, giving room for the MACD and RSI to correct or breathe and then pump up, that would be better. So say even if Ether is going all the way towards 5,000, 10,000, it can still take a breather there. Now, if that breather is like 10, 20, 30% down, that means it can even come back and retest its all-time high. And it's not like the huge correction there. If you look at the price and put in that 20, 30% of correction, that can still happen. Why? Because you come here, you take the exact top and you pick the bottom, and you kind of see that the price even went 70% down. in that scale. So you can at least anticipate 20 to 30% in consolidation. Now remember, that would just be the reaccumulation day, right? Now why would I say that? If you come here, look at this particular area, you can see this was the accumulation zone. Now this is a monthly chart. For you to get a little bit more clarity, I would go into a daily chart. So this is the daily chart, and when you see this stuff here, you can understand we were in the accumulation zone. Now if you plot the same stuff here above that, for Ether, you can still see a reaccumulation zone here. Now if such a reaccumulation zone is coming into the crypto market, now that's based on technical. So here for Ether, it took like 120 days to get that reaccumulation before it actually started that bull run. Now, if you come back here, you can still have a reaccumulation because we went above the all-time highs. Those who entered at the bottom made quite a gain, right? So they kind of made 20x, 22x from the bottom. Those who are trading leverage, even x2 or x5, now a lot of people do that, and I don't recommend that in a bull run because you can get wrecked, because the price fluctuation can even move down your stop loss and then go back up. So it's always better not to use that. But anyway, now if you look at this stuff, you'll clearly understand that you don't have to take that risk to make that money. Why? Because when you come to the fundamental side of this, you are able to see this stuff. World is changing. 2021 will be the year of recovery. Now that is coming from Christine Lagarde, the chief of European Central Bank. Now it's also kind of showing you we are entering into a new sustainable system. Now that new sustainable system, I don't think it's a new world order, but at least it's going to be a new financial order, right? It's going to be a new financial infrastructure. And if that's the case, you have to understand it's not only one central bank looking at that. It's the supranational organization detailedly discussing about it. Why? Because they see this one coming and they are trying to implement it. See, this tweet from XRP Crypto Wolf highlights this. IMF says central bank digital currency will face pressure in digital age. Now we do understand that because the financial sector is rapidly evolving. IMF said that digital currencies increasingly crop up, the financial sector rapidly evolves. Public and private economy sector will put pressure on central bank to innovate. Now they do have to do that, otherwise they will be outrun, right? Disruption is happening all the way. If you look left, right in the financial sector, that's really happening. So one by one, when you look at all these moves, it may need to take some time for consolidation. Now, I do agree, those who are already in XRP will kind of stay up and say, okay, what kind of a consolidation? We didn't actually move much up, and why do we need that consolidation? And that's where you have a chance of running up like a monster. Why? Because we didn't go much up in this time frame. So you can calculate from the bottom till here, we took like 342 days and we haven't done much of an upside. Even if you measure from the bottom till this top here, it's still like 400% gain. So that's not something which we are really looking at for XRP, right? So if you point this precisely, you get 500% upside, say 5x. That's when Ether has already done 20x. Other assets have done even better. So that also means you still have room to run to the upside. So here we are still inside this pattern and we are being supported here. If that support doesn't hold, yeah, we can look back to the price coming all the way back to the moving average first, and then if it breaks all the way down to the bottom. But what if we bounce from here and retest this resistance again? There are chances that we may break above that. Why? If you watch this rally from the bottom, it has been different from others. This looks like the first wave, second wave of this micro area. So that can be, say, a 3-wave structure for the 4-hour chart or a 2-hour chart. But still, if you look at this, it had that first wave, second wave, and that third. That kind of shows it can top out here. But entering into this chart, which is a daily chart looking at last 1 year fluctuation. So that's kind of a medium term approach here, which gives you an idea that if we bounce from here and cross above 0.58, chances are we are going to cross the 0.63 mark too, and then move higher. So these are kind of anticipation which we actually do based on charts. Now it's not only one chart which we are looking at, right? We are going through various different assets because the market is showing you various different opportunities. When you see coins are pumping, you do have opportunities. When you see these are giving you enormous returns, you have opportunities. Now if you want to take benefit of those, you can log in and look at the Patreon. The link is given in the description below. If you guys received value for your time, please do support the channel, hit that like and subscribe button. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.